It's that time of the month again. Today I'll be telling you whether Hyacine, the remembrance character that has Horse Queso by her side, is worth pulling for or not. But before that, let me introduce to you the best platform for recharging Stellar Jades, LD Shop. On LD Shop, you can purchase Stellar Jades at an extremely cheap rate compared to in-game. Using LD Shop, you can save up to 15% or even more when recharging your Honkai Star Rail accounts. Today I'll be buying this Jade pack that only costs $43.70 compared to the in-game price of $50. All you need to do is give LD Shop your account UID and region, send your payment, and the Stellar Jades will be sent straight to your account in less than a minute. On top of that, if you recharge up to $80 in a month, you can get a supply pass for free. There's no reason to not use this website. People who say there are risks to doing this are complete idiots that don't know how it works. I swear on my channel's integrity that you will not be banned or scammed. Don't forget to register using my link in the description for an extra 10% off coupon. I hope you would recharge on this website after registering using my link because that's the best way to support my channel right now as YouTube is being a bitch. Anyways, to start off, Hyacine actually has ridiculous sub DPS and main DPS capabilities for a unit designed for sustaining, much higher than even previous units like Lingsha and Aventurine. I usually tell people to never pull sustains because sustains are completely useless when vertical investing, and everyone will eventually learn to graduate from using them altogether in the future as long as they keep playing. That's why I said units like Aventurine is a complete scam, which I still stand by because all limited sustains do is waste your pull since you'll never use them when you graduate into sustainless gameplay. And for that time, when you use sustains, you can just make do with non-limited ones. The big difference here is that Hyacine is not a sustain unit. Her insane healing capabilities is actually an afterthought. That's what makes her different from the rest, owing to her being a remembrance character instead of an abundance or preservation character. To put it simply, instead of being a sustained character with DPS capabilities, she's actually a DPS with sustaining capabilities. That's why I think for people that can't use sustainless yet, she's the best character and the only character worth pulling in the sustain slots since she can just be the DPS at the same time. For example, Hyacine and Fat Fox damage are so high that they can 3-cost your cycle and even go as low as 2-cost with Idea Relics on the current MOC 12, which is better than most AoE DPSs. That's why I said her damage is the main factor and the healing is just an afterthought. She'll also be really helpful on Polluck's boss in lowering the cost needed to 0 cycles since she fulfills the healing while actually boosting team damage by a lot, unlike actual sustain units. So she can lower the damage gap from not using a third support. Even in pure fiction, she's able to get max score at a relatively low cost, which further cements her position as an actual DPS. If you already have 2 DPSs though, and don't need a character with sustaining capabilities, you can instead pull her as a vertical investment option for Casterus. In that team, she isn't really a priority since you would want Tribby first and then Casterus' Lycone. But after that, you should pull Hyacine and her Lycone to replace Gallagher. Her gameplay is also pretty fun, more so than some DPSs like Fireflop, so there's quite a lot of reasons to pull for her, as she's one of the more versatile characters in the roles that she fulfills. People tend to doom post her because she isn't a direct upgrade over Gallagher at E0S0 in Casterus' team, but that's pretty overblown. Hyacine being a 5-star will always have a higher ceiling than a 4-star option anyways, and I don't really recommend people stay at low cost. Low cost is used to judge ceiling, not for actual gameplay on your accounts. If you play Casterus, you should try to get all her vertical investment options anyways, including Hyacine. Casterus is one of the most beautiful characters in terms of gameplay, akin to Evoker from Dota 2 with the amount of options in her gameplay you can mix and match with. So vertical investing in her is one of the best things you can do since she'll last a long time like Sela. All in all, gameplays-wise, I have to say Hyacine is the only limited unit with sustained capabilities worth pulling. Unless you count Rame, of course. As for miscellaneous reasons, her motto is actually the reason I'm not pulling for her, being a girl motto instead of a maid or lady. So sometimes miscellaneous reasons supersides gameplay. She does contribute to an achievement where you need 4 memo sprites on the team, so you need 2 out of 3 limited remembrance units. If you don't have both casters and Aglia, you can pull Hyacine for the achievement. The Herta who is back in the rerun banner is still worth pulling for if you're wondering, being top tier in every mode and the best PF DPS. If you don't have 2 DPSs or have issues with PF, then you should pull her. Power creep truly does not exist. That's all for today. Good luck for pulling Hyacine and Fat Fuck or even the Herta if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one.